Warning, censorship. Warning, censorship.
I find that even in this region, even small business owners are somewhat kind of keeping us at arm's length, and it's almost like they're looking down their nose at us. And I wish they would open their eyes and realize that this isn't about money. This is about taking a stand for what's right.
Yeah.
What do you think about that?
Oh, exactly what Dennis said. It's really, really nice to have someone solid and honest in your corner. Rebel News, it's for the rest of Canada, whether you have someone or not, we put ourselves out there and put our neck out. Thank God we have someone like this covering us. But guess what? If we all did it together, unity is the answer. They are dividing and conquering. That's what's happened. The hypocrisy that's gone along with this is gross, and I appreciate Rebel News from the start. They've been amazing since the start.
David Menzies in St. Catharines, Ontario. And you know what, folks? It looks like the powers that be have taken a very dim view of the Great Canadian Barbering Rebellion. Yeah, you might remember our stories earlier this month, the Evolution Salon and Spa, where I am right now, and Chrome Artistic Barbering reinvented their businesses as film production studios. They weren't giving haircuts anymore. They were giving auditions, and evidently that was on the up and up. That was a legitimate loophole, if you will, to allow these salons to continue on servicing their clients. And in fact, there are film productions going on across Canada right now. So if they can make major Hollywood productions, why can't the smaller salons in St. Catharines make their little documentaries? But once again, it seems to be one law for thee and one law for me. So the players in our story, as always, we have Dennis and Lisa Constantini, Alicia Herder, and Carla DeFabio. Now, here we are, guys. Things were going along well, and I'll start with you, Alicia, because I think you were the brainchild behind this idea of reimagining a barbershop into a film production studio. Earlier this month, you opened. Dennis and Lisa followed suit. Things were going along well. In fact, I believe you were booked solid until March. I mean, so there's absolutely a critical mass of people that want to have their hair done, or should I say they want to get an audition. But then today at your salon and Dennis's salon, what happened?
I went to do a live radio broadcast, and minutes after I was on the air on our St. Catharines Niagara 411 broadcast, there was 4 different officers that approached Carla at my work without a signed warrant. There was someone from the Ministry of Labor, someone from the city, Steve Speck, who was my original person I spoke to that cleared me on the phone, and the same officer that came by with Michelle Brown that wouldn't identify himself, that didn't identify himself again. And they not only gave the actor in the chair auditioning a ticket, they also gave Carla a ticket, and they left me a summons.
Now, this is interesting because, Carla, you had a client in the chair at the time. He got half a haircut, I imagine. So not only did you get a ticket, but the client got a ticket for $880. Is that correct?
Yes, that's correct. That happened today. Yeah, I was there, and everybody just showed up, and I signed up for this. So yeah,
What I'm trying to understand, though, is that, as Alicia said, the city bylaw originally said, yeah, you're good to go. Niagara region had a bit of a problem, but when they came to you today, what was the egregious crime you were committing? Because you were a film production studio and you were giving a haircut as part of this gentleman's audition.
Yeah, well, apparently it was Section 10.1. Alicia, what was that for?
We still don't know. We are still beyond comprehension. The person couldn't quote the bylaw again, and he kept telling me I could look at it myself. I said, I'm unclear. I'm not a lawyer. I'm an artist. He still wouldn't identify it. So at this point, we still don't know what we violated, and it was not clear to us again.
And Alicia, wasn't there something about the bathroom being out of compliance?
Right now, the way that I'm looking at it, like I said, I don't know how to read. They handed us 4 booklets. Is apparently Section 10, subsection 1, is about having a schedule in the bathroom about your sanitized cleaning. It's because we didn't have the schedule. It wasn't that it wasn't clean. The schedule wasn't up. It's a bathroom that we all use. It's a common bathroom. So
And that's a key point. Other businesses in your retail compound use this bathroom. So in a way, if the bathroom is out of compliance, something that's separate from your studio, why isn't the landlord, I think, receiving this ticket?
again, there's just confusion because I'm not even sure if that's what's being thrown at me at the moment, but we haven't even reached out to the landlord, and I'm not even too sure at this point. I don't even know. I've been trying to read these papers. I'm like, what am I in trouble for? I have no clue where the accountability lies at this point.
And Carla, you got an 880 ticket. Your client got an 880 ticket, and Alicia, you got a summons. Is that correct?
I got a summons.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right then. And then Dennis, these same members of bylaw enforcement, at least some of them, they came over here to Evolution Salon and Spa. What was the nature of the conversation you had with them in terms of what you were doing wrong?
Well, I was here, but I wasn't even auditioning at that time. There wasn't a client in the environment, and I was like, why are you here? And they said, well, we're here to check things out. And they said, are you open? And I'm like, well, yes, I'm open. I'm taking auditions because I'm building content for my podcast and documentary. And they proceeded to go through the entire building and check it out, and then I was issued tickets.
And did they mention any kind of smoking gun, if you will, anything that was, I mean, in the case of Alicia, they evidently had a problem with the communal bathroom. Was there anything in your beautiful salon that they had a problem with?
Just that I was open, really, that I was still working, and they kept talking about, well, you're not allowed to cut hair. And that's all that they kept saying. You're not allowed to cut hair.
But Dennis, this is baffling because I can tell you right now, in Jasper, the Jasper Park Lodge has been booked out for the entire 9 weeks for the filming of The Bachelorette. And there's hair cutting galore going on for that production, as you can imagine. Why are the authorities turning a blind eye? I don't think they're raiding the set of The Bachelorette right now in Alberta, but they're coming after you. Like, what's the difference?
You know what? I can't really comment on that because I don't know what they're doing on the set there. All I know is that here I'm trying to be as compliant as I possibly can. I have a very clean environment. I sanitize. I know what I'm doing, and I know I'm being safe. And I still can't understand how people don't see that you're safer in an environment like this than you are going to a grocery store or Walmart or Costco. So why are you coming down on these businesses that are trying to reinvent themselves so that they can continue to work? Because I just want to work. I just want to take care of people, and I want to work. I don't want government handouts. I want to work. So why are you coming at me when I'm doing everything I can to try and keep this place afloat, to try and keep a clean environment, to try and keep things safe for my visitors? I don't understand this.
And Lisa, I mean, I get that argument. But I mean, when we compare apples to apples here, like I said, in Jasper, you got a film production company doing a major production for The Bachelorette. In Toronto, there is a Hollywood movie being shot down near Ontario Place. There's auditions there. There are haircuts being given there. If they can do it, how come you can't do it?
Well, I guess they're not making any money off of us, right? I think we're a private small businesses. And at this point, it's starting to look like a witch hunt because if we're reinventing ourselves and saying, hey, we want to join in to the film industry, to, podcast, documentary, whatever it is, using our craft, using the hair, whatever, makeup, right? Why are we not allowed to start a new business? Is that against the Emergency Act? We're not allowed to start a new business? And then you're going to come in and fine us on what? Are they fining any of these other sets?
Or do you think there's an undercurrent of elitism here that, a big Hollywood production in Toronto, something very popular like The Bachelorette out in Alberta, the politicians of every level, they love that. Oh, look what's being shot in our backyard. But, you're just making some low budget documentary. You're just the little people, maybe one rule for Hollywood, one rule for the people that actually live in the country?
Yeah, I think that's it. And they're going to come, there's saying, oh, well, we have all these protocols and safety for all these big production sets. That's true. And there's hundreds of you where there's only two people in this entire salon, the actress and the artist. So that's 2 people, and we can monitor, and it's under the 3 hours. So no, we don't need all of those. We are still doing all the precautions. So again, we're not allowed to open a new business. Is that part of the pandemic? Is that part of the Emergency Open Act? No new businesses?
The thing that's kind of strange is like you see an artist, and that artist is known for painting, and now the artist decides, well, I'm going to start mixing some clay in with my paint. And they come to you and say, well, you can't use clay because you paint. And you're not allowed to mix the clay and the paint together because that's just not allowed. And it's like, why is it not allowed? Why, as an artist, can I not use what I do and turn it into something else?
It's baffling to me. And Alicia, I know you did so much research about reopening. This wasn't, a cavalier whim. You reached out, as you said earlier, to City of St. Catharines bylaw. They gave you their blessing. So what changed?
I'm going to say I think it was a bit of a witch hunt. I think because of our media attention last week and the amount of support we got and the amount of Canadians and small businesses that came forward thinking they could possibly follow in our footsteps and reopen, which they should. I think that the city had to do something as a responsibility to all the media, just to all the investigations and these heavy things and $500,000 fines. They needed to give them something. So they came in today and gave a bunch of garbage tickets. That wasn't how I operated. We didn't get a ticket today for my operation. So all the people that say a dirty loophole, you found that there was a sheet missing in a common bathroom. Is that what you have to do? I mean, and like I said, I'm still...
So petty.
It's petty. It was, and that's why I don't think he would tell me what it was. I kept asking, because if he would have said that live, I probably would have laughed and refused it.
So, Carla, what do you think the solution is here? I mean, I've always advocated, going back to November with Adam Skelly of Adamson Barbecue, that if thousands of businesses reopened overnight, there's not enough bylaw enforcement officers or police officers, or for that matter, prison cells to incarcerate all these people. Is that what we need? Some huge critical mass of people in the service and retail industry and restaurant business just to say the hell with it, I'm opening my doors?
Yeah, I think a lot of people should open up, and I think that's great, but I think it's going to take an awakening from all sides. Like, I hope that the people that came to give me a ticket today could see what we're trying to do here. I hope that they will give us some grace to move forward in this and allow other people to. I hope that we can open the conversation. I hope that we can just continue on and function as a thriving society. I love the Niagara region. I love my city, and I wanna give back to it. So I'm hoping for grace and understanding and open communication. I'm willing to listen, and we're hoping that people will be willing to listen to us too.
Gotcha. And Dennis and Lisa and Alicia, I guess the question is, where do you go from here? Are you going to bend the knee and close the door, or Dennis, are you staying in business?
I'll be here tomorrow.
Okay. Alicia?
I want to talk to a couple people before we figure out how we're going to proceed.
Okay, fair enough.
Cross a couple more T's and dot a couple I's.
Okay.
Yeah.
Regardless, as I promised you folks back earlier this month when I first came to St. Catharines to do profiles on your businesses, I said, if the authorities come back and fine you, we have your back. We have arranged for a top-notch criminal lawyer to represent Evolution Salon and Spa and, of course, Chrome Barbering. So what do you think about that, Dennis?
I love it. It's it feels good to have someone in your corner. I find that even in this region, even small business owners are somewhat kind of keeping us at arm's length, and it's almost like they're looking down their nose at us. And I wish they would open their eyes and realize that this isn't about money. This is about taking a stand for what's right. Yeah. I can stay afloat. I can sit back and eat craft dinner for a couple of weeks if I have to. I can do that to make it through until they lift things, whenever they lift things. But I'm standing up for what's right, and I'm standing up for Alicia, and I'm standing up for all the other businesses out there that should also be standing up for what's right. This is not right.
And you know something, Alicia, to build on what Dennis just said, it's really an unfair fight when you're going against the state. They have resources of the taxpayer trough, which is endless. You were dealing today with the city, the region, the Ministry of Labor, I believe. I mean, it was like a pile-on. You're not one woman going up against all these bureaucracies. Like I said, we have a criminal lawyer already in your corner, signed, sealed, delivered. They're going to do the fighting for you. We're going to crowdfund the legal fees. What do you think about that?
Oh, exactly what Dennis said. It's really, really nice to have someone solid and honest in your corner. Rebel News, it's for the rest of Canada, whether you have someone or not, we put ourselves out there and put our neck out. Thank God we have someone like this covering us. But guess what? If we all did it together, unity's the answer. They are dividing and conquering. That's what's happened. The hypocrisy that's gone along with this is gross, and I appreciate Rebel News from the start. They've been amazing since the start.
Well, we appreciate the stance you're taking as honest, hardworking entrepreneurs. We're going to get you covered. And folks, like I said, we have film productions happening across Canada. What is it? The Wuhan virus is such a super intelligent bug that, if it sees a movie with Tom Cruise starring in it, that's off limits. But if it's a little documentary being made in small St. Catharines, we're going to penalize those people for having the temerity to put on a film. It does not make sense from a legal point of view, an ethical point of view, and for that matter, a scientific point of view. Stay tuned. Hopefully, this little documentary that we're chronicling is going to have a happy ending. For Rebel News, I'm David the Menzoid Menzies. Well, there you have it, folks. If there's a big Hollywood production afoot in our great Dominion, no problem. Do as much hair cutting as you want. But if it's a small documentary being made here in Little St. Catharines, the authorities will throw the book at you. Well, that's just not right. If you are a business or an individual who has been fined under these ridiculous Wuhan virus protocols, please let us know. Go to fightthefines.com. That's fightthefines.com. Let us know your story, and if we think it has merit, we'll do a video on it, and we'll put you in touch with a top-notch criminal lawyer and crowdfund your legal fees.